Hey everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you with another Lord of the Rings movie review, everybody, and we are on the third and final Lord of the Rings movie in the trilogy, Return of the King, everybody. That is right. And if you look up the word epic in the dictionary, I'm pretty sure this movie's poster or whatever is right next to the word epic, because this third movie in this trilogy in the Lord of the Rings franchise, holy crap, is it epic. The scale and everything. Like, you thought the Two Towers got epic, and you thought that the Fellowship of the Ring started out as this big epic journey. Whoo! This third movie takes that scale and blows the roof off of it. It busts it. It just totally destroys it. So, this movie, once again, is directed by Peter Jackson. And all of our stars and our cast and our characters, everybody that was in The Fellowship of the Ring and The Two Towers, they're all back, everybody. And it picks up not too far after the end. I think it actually pretty much starts pretty much right after The Two Towers ends. Oh, you guys, this is a great movie. This is a fantastic freaking movie, people. I'm gonna flat out say it right now. I'm gonna do a ranking of these movies and the Hobbit movies when I'm done. This is the best movie in the Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Middle Earth franchise. It's the best movie in the entire franchise. The scale alone, holy shit, people. I mean, and we get everything that was brought up in the Fellowship of the Ring, with Aragorn being the heir and the true king. We get payoff galore in this movie, you guys. We get to see Sam and Frodo on their journey through Mordor. They actually get there, and freaking Gollum, his true nature comes out, and we get to see all that play out with Frodo and Sam and Gollum. And there's at one point, like, Frodo tells Sam to kick rocks and get the hell out of here. He doesn't want him anymore because Gollum, Schmeagol, Gollum, he basically set Sam up with the damn elf bread, crumbling cookie crumbs on him with that bread and throwing the bread off the ledge, that bastard. So he tricks him, makes Frodo think he's an a-hole, and he's like, get out of my life, get out of my life. And then, of course, we know what happens. He leads frickin' Frodo into that damn cave with Shelob, everybody, and we get to see a nasty big-ass spider fight. And of course, if Samwise Gamgee would not have went on this journey with Frodo, Middle Earth would be overrun with orcs and darkness, and Sauron would be ruling Middle Earth. That is right, people. Samwise Gamgee is the true hero of this franchise. He is. If he would have not went with Frodo on this journey in the Fellowship of the Ring, when Frodo was going to take off and leave and go on his own, Sauron would be running Middle Earth. That's right. Flat out. If you've watched the movies, you know it. You know it. Without Sam carried his ass up the side of the volcano, for Christ's sake. He put him on his shoulders and carried him, for God's sakes. Like, if Sam wouldn't have went with him, he'd be screwed. He'd be screwed, because he rescues him from Shelob and the orcs after what freaking Gollum did to him. God, it's just crazy. Like, Sam is the true hero, everybody. And then we get to see the big, epic freaking battle at Minas Tirith, everybody, at Gondor. Oh, that's like literally like half of the freaking movie almost. Like, that battle, it's that epic in size and scale, everybody. It is massive, and I love it. Such awesome payoff. We get to see freaking our other hobbits do some cool things and help in the war. The scene where freaking Rohan shows up to save freaking Gondor, basically, like, save their asses, because they are literally getting overran because they don't have the forces to fight freaking Mordor, the army of Mordor. They do not have the forces, and they are getting overrun. I think at that point, the two levels of the city are completely overran, and they are pushing. They are pushing hard, everybody. And when Rohan shows up, oh my God, I love that scene with the Riders of Rohan freaking just crashing into the freaking army of Mordor. I love that shit. It gets you goosebumps, your blood pumping, everything. Awesome stuff. Just, it's so cool. And then we get to see Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli go into the mount, the like Death Mountain or whatever, because he gets the sword, everybody. Elrond freaking forges the sword again and tells him, become who you were meant to be. God damn it. Become the king. Take up your seat and be a man. And he gives him the sword and he tells him, you got to go get the army of the dead, dude. You got to get the army of the dead because it's the only way you're going to freaking beat the army of Mordor, everybody. That's right. And we get a cool little side sequence with those guys going to do that. Awesome stuff right there. And that's where we get to see Peter Jackson, the director, is in this movie too. He's on one of them pirate ships, and Legolas accidentally shoots him with an arrow because Gimli bumps the bottom of his bow when he tells him to fire a warning shot. Peter Jackson dies, everybody. Yeah. And we get to see the army of the dead swoop in and pretty much end that battle at Minas Tirith. And this movie's super emotional too. It's very emotional because some of our characters die. This is where Carl Urban, man, the homeboy shows his acting chops in this movie, because when he finds his sister and thinks that she's dead, whew, the emotion that he showed and everything, that's some sad shit. Because I gotta tell you, at the end of this movie, when we get our like 5 or 6, maybe 7 endings, because that's one thing about this movie. It's really long. It's over 4 hours long. I don't care about a 4-hour movie. I will sit down and watch a 4-hour movie all day. But this movie seems like it ends like 5 or 6 times, and then it finally ends. It's like, okay, you guys, are you ending now? Is it going to end this time? Okay, maybe we're going to end this time. It's just funny. I don't care. I don't mind it. Because I love where the movie actually ends, even though I honestly feel like the movie should have probably ended with the ship with Frodo and Bilbo and Gandalf going off with the elves. I think it should have ended there, but then we get another little scene with Sam going back to the Shire, hugging his kids, going in the house with his wife, and it ends where the first movie began. It's very fitting, and I see what they did with that. It literally ends right where the first one started, in the Shire, everybody, in the Shire. And I love that. It's a bookend. I love that. And the ending of the movie is super emotional. After the hobbits go back, or at Minas Tirith, when they crown Aragorn as the true king, and the fourth time of men or whatever in Middle Earth, the fourth age of men has begun in Middle Earth. For pretty much that point on, the movie gets super emotional for me. It makes me tear up every time I watch the damn thing. I'll admit it makes me tear up and cry. I'm a man. I cry sometimes when I watch movies. It happens. That means that they're good. They're good movies, everybody. You know what? This movie's great. Like I said, it's probably easily the best one in the entire franchise with the Hobbit movies and the Lord of the Rings movie. It's epic. It's huge. And payoff. It's awesome. An ending to this great epic trilogy, everybody. So you already know what the hell I'm going to give it. I'm going to give the Lord of the Rings Return of the King 5 lightsabers out of 5 lightsabers, everybody. That is correct. Woo! All right, we're moving on to the Hobbit movies next, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. And I'll be catching you on the tube later because I have spoken.